think of the undercard today?
Undercard were really, really good, really strong. I can only go from the Chisora fight. Obviously knockout, strong. Yeah, Chisora will go on. I'd give him a strong 8. I'd give Chisora a good strong 8. Next one, obviously Allen and Price. I fancied Price from the start. I don't think where can Price go? I still think he's domestic. I'd give him a 7, strong-ish. Not too sure what happened with Allen. And then obviously the main card, White and Rivas. I think he was like, how do you call it? Dillian Whyte's worst nightmare was Rivas. I think he's the closest to White. Came forward, fight, nightmare. Yeah. And on that note, even though I had Rivas winning the fight, and I will stand here and say that, I did by 2 rounds. I'd give him a strong 8.5, because he did do well. Yeah. He did. But yeah, I'd stick by that. And I think Dillian Whyte will go on, and he'll beat Deontay. I think it's Deontay Wilder.
He's able to beat Deontay. Yeah.
I think it's a nightmare. Yeah. I think it's a nightmare.
I think Deontay Wilder, he gets strong in the first couple of rounds. Later on the 10th or 11th round,
yeah,
it's much more.
It's too close.
Yeah.
You keep long. Yeah, but yeah, that's my view. And I think overall, I'm not knocking White. I'm a White man. I'm a big supporter of him. But I just thought Rivas was amazing tonight.
Yeah,
I really did, and I was really impressed. It was like an animal. Brilliant, really, really good fighter. I did have him winning, as much as I want to like back White because I'm a Brit and I support my own. But I'm a fit, and listen, I only graded on the 8th and 12th, and I think 1, maybe 2. Yeah, that's my view.
What do you think of the?
Go on, mate, you jump in.
What do you think of the fighting ratings today? So the undercard. What do you think of 1 out of 10? Between?
Yeah, I mean, look, like I don't have anything like sort of out of the extraordinary to say. You know, I agree with the last man there, and you know, if we start from the sort of Chisora fight, look, the guy cleared him out within 2 rounds. What can you say? Look, Chisora, you know, everybody knows what Chisora is. Everybody knows what his level is. Everybody knows like sort of what he's about.
Chisora will fight Price next.
I mean, look, Chisora, every single time he comes to fight, every single time he's going to get people off his seats, and that's what you got to rate about Chisora. If we're looking about the Price Allen fight, I mean, look, I was an Allen boy from the start, and like, like you know. I was disappointed with Allen's performance, but you got to give your props to Price. At the end of the day, like he's got a little bit of a reputation for a glass chin, and you know he's a bronze medalist. But you know what has he done since he's become professional? But at the end of the day, no matter how he gets the win, no matter if it's a cash alley fucking biting him and shit like this, or like you know he makes someone crit on their stool. You know, if you get the win, you get the win. I think he deserved the win tonight. I think Dave Allen, you know, is definitely a British level fighter. Maybe he's got to go back to the drawing board in a sense, because I was never really convinced that he was winning that fight. And you know, best of luck to Price. Going on to the main event, from the start again, I was a Wilder. Getting ahead of myself. I was a White fan, but look, like. We know that Dillian Whyte, he likes to give a performance on for the fans. You know, he doesn't like to sit around, not do anything, wait for fights. That's why, you know, you're talking about your fights with Wilder and your world title shots in April next year and things like that. You know he's going to be busy before that, and that's what he always does. You know, he's gotten busy today. He took a fight that it was never easy. You know, if you got your eye on the boxing game, especially the heavyweight, if you got your eye on the heavyweight division, you know that Oscar Rivas is no joke. He comes to fight, and he did today. And look, like no matter whether you think he won or he lost tonight, okay, the business was done. Dillian Whyte, he got the result at the end of the day. You've got to give him respect for that. But I think it's a win-win situation for Oscar Rivas because we're all standing here saying that his stock has risen tonight. Home fighter is not an aspect in the sport of boxing, and it is. It's hugely. You know, like Whyte lands a punch, it's absolutely huge, and everybody gets like, you know, so gassed. Oscar Rivas, you know, he didn't get as much love, but huge respect to him. Like, it's so hard to come to, you know, away and do what he did. But look, I'm excited for Dillian Whyte. I think to an extent, like, he never should have taken a difficult fight like this in the first place. 600 days, he's he's been the #1 contender. I think people have been dodging him because he's just the worst opponent to fight in the world, because you've got nothing to gain but everything to lose. You may as well just take, like, you know, like your easy fights here, left, right, and centre, try and avoid him as much as you can. And it's a shame that it's taken this long for him to get in an unavoidable position.
You should already have the Deontay fight ready. So
100%.
I think it's because Deontay wants to keep the belt and retain the belt in the US. And if he loses that match against Dillian Whyte or another UK fighter, you know, Deontay stock has fallen.
Yeah.
So there's no money really or big fights for him.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're talking on like a personal level, you know, I think we can take a step back from the whole Deontay Wilder, like, I don't know how to explain it, like the Deontay Wilder image or like Deontay Wilder brand or whatever. Take a step back and think, you know, if you're Deontay Wilder, do you really want to take a fight with a guy who you could avoid, and also you're not really going to gain enough from beating him if you do? It's not worth the danger of the fight. That's why he's fighting guys like Dominic Brazil, etc. But, you know, I'm hoping that it's gotten to a point already where it's like he's completely unavoidable. And, you know, I'm not asking for Dillian Whyte to get a title. You can never ask for that. But a title shot, especially when the likes of Charles Martin have had two, I think it's completely unfair. Okay, we don't know the ins and outs of the situation. Maybe Whyte has been in talks with AJ and stuff, and, you know, he hasn't got the money that he wants. He knows what he's worth, sort of thing. He could have taken the fights, maybe, but you know, he doesn't want to get rinsed for the money and things like this. Okay, to an extent, that's completely fair. But, you know, you could have an argument that it's like, okay, it should all really be about sort of your position in the sport and winning the titles and things like that. But I think now, if Whyte's next fight that's commissioned isn't a title fight, I'll be very, very upset. I think a lot of people would be upset. I wouldn't be surprised, just because of how much they're delaying it, sort of April next year and things like that, if he had a sort of fight in between, because out of anybody in the heavyweight division, Whyte likes to stay busy, and that's what we love about him. He'll take on anyone, he'll fight whenever he can, sort of thing.
Yeah, I heard Dillian Whyte's going to fight in November or December.
I mean, I think he came out with a comment. He said that, you know, he's looking to fight around sort of like November, December sort of time. Look, like, Whyte's the kind of guy that you want in boxing. He's the kind of guy that you want in the heavyweight division. You know, he's talented, he's hardworking. He's very dangerous, and he's up for any fight. Most importantly, I think there's been a move towards a sort of almost like the Mayweather model, where it's like you try and maximize the sort of money that you make from a fight. You take it when you can, when it suits you. Okay, fine. Look, okay, if we're talking about Mayweather, this is his TBE. Obviously, he's not the greatest fighter ever, but in terms of playing the fight game, he is the best ever. So, you know, you can't argue with that. But on the flip side, you know, it's difficult for the fans, but that's why we appreciate nights like tonight, when we get a complete scrap, we get a really good undercard, exciting undercard, we get moments that we didn't expect. And as a boxing fan, I think this is the sort of things that you live for. But fingers crossed, Whyte gets what he deserves. Nothing more, nothing less, just what he deserves. And if he gets what he deserves, I'll be excited for him.